What's up, y'all? This is my first international destination, which is awesome. We're in Ottawa, Ontario, which is the capital of Canada, which is super cool. I've been to Washington, D.C. before, and one thing I noticed there that rides true, like similar here, is that there's a really good blend of, when it comes to architecture, there's a really good blend of historic architecture and modern architecture, which is super cool. We're gonna check some of that out today. I'm so excited to be here. All right, let's do this. This is the Odyssist. After our time in Alexandria Bay, we crossed the Thousand Islands Bridge, passed the final US exit, and crossed the border into Ontario, Canada. After about 90 or so minutes of driving, we got close to our destination before finally arriving in the Canadian capital city, Ottawa. You know, one thing I immediately noticed was just the variety in architecture. There's a lot of modern, sleek, cool buildings, but the Parliament is absolutely gorgeous, decked out with sandstone, which is used to make a lot of European buildings. Now, of course, being the nation's capital, it's also home to the Canadian Supreme Court, as well as several monuments and attractions such as the Byward Market. Every street has, restaurants and shops, and it's really pretty and nice. The massive European-style government buildings are jaw-dropping, and I can only imagine what it's like to go inside one of those things. This architecture reminds me a lot of Europe. The city is officially bilingual, with English and French being its primary languages. If you're a fan of museums, then I've got good news. Ottawa boasts over 30 museums covering a wide range of topics. Some notable ones include the Canadian Museum of History, Canadian War Museum, and the Canada Aviation and Space Museum. Even beyond all the historical stuff, Ottawa also has a really impressive downtown area with some really cool and sleek modern buildings that really add to the city's skyline. One of the biggest things I loved about this city was the diversity of the place. It brings together people from all around, not just Canada, not just the United States, but people on a global scale. Ottawa is an absolute melting pot with festivals celebrating various cultures throughout the year. Even just walking around casually like we did, we found monument after monument, world flags, flags of other British nations, and it was also beautiful at night. Let's check out what it looks like at nighttime. Exploring any major city at night is awesome, seeing all the lights, how vibrant it is, or just seeing what the nightlife is like. Of course, the area around the Parliament is absolutely gorgeous, and the more modern sections are super vibrant and cool. Parliament Hill itself actually wasn't all that lit up. It was kind of dark, probably because it was undergoing construction, but it still looked cool, as did everything around it. So it seems like the Parliament and Parliament Hill are undergoing like some kind of construction right now, which is, it'll probably look cooler in the end, but I'm a little bummed that we can't go inside. Even despite that, simply walking around the city both during the day and at night was enough for me, and I wholeheartedly loved it. The settlement of Ottawa began to take shape following the construction of the Rideau Canal in 1826. Its original name was actually Bytown, and you can still visit the Bytown Museum in Ottawa today. Unfortunately, in the year 1900, tragedy struck. A defective chimney on a house in Hull caught fire, and this fire quickly spread across the wooden houses due to the extreme wind conditions. It crossed the river into Ottawa and resulted in 7 casualties and several thousand people being unfortunately displaced. Unfortunately, an event like this would transpire a second time on February 3rd, 1916, when a fire destroyed the center block. Due to the ongoing war, there was a lot of panic among the people, but thankfully, 11 years later, the area was reconstructed. Today, Ottawa brings in thousands of visitors annually. That's a wrap. Thank you guys for checking this one out. It really is a gorgeous city. It reminded me a lot of the places in Europe that I saw where the architecture is very similar. The architecture is beautiful. It really is just such an amazing city. Remember, whether your life's carefree or busy as could be, always remember to leave a little bit of room for wonder.